Hello and welcome back to the Chromecast at the Rising Moon. Hey guys, today I have a spirit guide message for you. How do I connect to my guides better? How can I better connect to my guides? We have a pick a card with 3 piles in it. On this channel, you can access my podcast, the video interviews, which is Logical Magic, Examining Esoterica, has all kinds of healing advice, magic advice. We have a lot of fun spirituality discussions as well. And you can find those videos here. But I also do pick a cards, and I also have a Patreon where I do weekly readings, I do monthly readings, and I do some magic for the collective, primarily to do things like clear attachments. And there's going to be links to that in the description box down below if you want to check any of that out. And then you can book me for a private reading through attherisingmoon.com. You're going to have a moment here to check out the cards, see which one stands out to you. The message today is, how can I connect to my spirit guides? And we want to be able to do that so we can receive our inner guidance to best hone our outcomes for our best results. And that's why you want to try and connect to your guides. And let's see what they have to say. I'll see you at the time of your reading. Hey, welcome back. If you chose pile number 1 and then this is your reading, we're putting the number 1 over there so people can easily fast forward to their reading, but there are timestamps in the description box down below. So today's topic is, how can I best connect to my guides? We need to be able to figure out a process for receiving our information, for creating a state of receptivity. We all know about things like meditation, but frankly, in a world where people have less and less of an attention span, more and more people have difficulty meditating, finding a clear space within. Their brains don't turn off easily. So keeping in mind that we're likely going to get a bunch of messages about you need to meditate, you need to meditate, we're also going to be looking for alternative means. So pile number 1, we need how can they best connect to their spirit guides? How can they get their guidance? How can they get more guidance in their life? Can you please tell me? We're using an infinity spread. I usually do on YouTube. Hey guys, you want to book me for a private reading? There is a link to my website in the description box down below. attherisingmoon.com is the only way to book me. I have the King of Swords in the upright. That is a card of learning new things. It is a card of clarity. It is a card of judgment. The King of Swords in the head and the heart battle always chooses the head. It can be a slightly mature energy, with the 7 of Pentacles in the upright, which is a card of relaxation, of not doing anything. The 7 of Pentacles in the upright is the toil and labor card. In reverse, it genuinely is like not working. It can be as simple as a vacation. Comes out with the World in reverse, which is starting a new cycle. It kind of looks like whatever you've been doing has not been giving you the results that you've been hoping for any longer. With the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, which is yet another relax and vacation energy. The 8 of Pentacles in the upright is mastering a situation. It is like working hard towards your goals, but making progress on it. The 8 in reverse, we've got multiple, hey, listen, you need to have a breather and you need to have it be something that resets your energy. It's like you need an emotional reset. With the 9 of Pentacles in the upright, which is a card of self-reliance and independence, it's also a card of privilege. This is one of the underlying, okay? Ace of Swords in reverse, cutting ties with things, releasing expectations around it. Okay, I get what you're saying here. With the Page of Pentacles in the upright, which is learning lessons, it is, the pages get things started. The Pentacles are always a very 3D energy. When you get the Page of Pentacles in the upright, remember it's about learning new things as well. And then I have the 7 of Swords in reverse, which is a clarity card. You've got 2 7s in reverse. Let me get your outcome cards here. Hanged Man in reverse, new perspective, with the 2 of Cups in reverse as well. So in particular, I've got a couple people here who are very interested in, where's their relationship going, or when is somebody coming to them. And one of the things you need to be aware of is that's not really what meditation is for. So don't ask about that. And that is not when I say don't, it'll cloud up your guidance. Fateful occurrences will come to you. You don't need to seek them out. You don't need to try and live your life to an outcome. You don't need to be guided to where can I go to meet my person? That information, that will be at a very subliminal energy. They are really going to work almost exclusively with your subconscious on that. Don't expect guidance on that within your meditative sessions, and don't expect those, moments where you feel very clear and led, like with the King of Swords. Don't expect it to have to do with personal relationships. That will function more at a subconscious level. And it's for a very important reason. It helps you avoid any forms of spirit attachments, because that is the most likely area where people do attract attachments. Ones that will tell you what you want to hear so that they can just have your energy focusing on them and they can feed off of it. And that's just to be something aware of. So that's one thing to get out of the way. For the people who are asking, what you need to be doing is something that has to do with relaxation and fun, potentially some form of, if you can take a day off of work and head to a new park or a new place or someplace where you are very much in your own energy. And it's going to be different for different people. Some people can go to an art gallery and really be in their own headspace. This is with the proviso that if you meditate, please keep meditating. But please remember that your answers come to you outside of meditation. Meditation creates a space, and you're asking for things to be subliminally given to you. Every now and then, you will get very, very clear guidance. In fact, doing this reading came to me while I was meditating, but it was because I was sitting down wondering what I was supposed to do with my day, and this is what came to me. If you're feeling very blocked on it, it may be because you're pressing too hard and you need to relax more. You need to do some exercises on clearing your mind. Now, clearing your mind is very, very challenging. As I went into at the top of this, with so many things that are about scrolling and so much input, people have a really hard time with a long attention span. And so what you have to do is try and hone your attention span a little bit. And it can be within the 3D, where you're reading longer books, you're watching longer programs, you're listening potentially to podcasts. Do something that is not about scrolling. In fact, take a full week's break from any form of social media, and that is one of the things that might also help you as well, because I've got multiple put it down, walk away energies. Something that you're taking in, and it may be YouTube readings, is clogging up the airwaves pretty much, and that you need to be aware that clearing them by taking a form of fasting, potentially from electronic devices, is one of the things that you can do. Now, it's not a world in which we're ever really that far from them, but you limit the use as much as you humanly can. I like TikTok for a lot of reasons, but I haven't been on it in weeks because of that. Anything that keeps you scrolling is keeping your attention span very forward-reaching. And when you're trying to develop your ability to hear your spirit guides, you need to be able to be in a sit and stay type of energy, and you need to begin again on that. You need apparently to look at a clearing of your personal energy, to examine your habits, to be like, okay, what am I doing that has me locked into this particular pattern? You need to break a pattern, but it needs to be something that is about learning how to sit and be. And if you don't like to meditate, practice sitting for 5 minutes. Just practice sitting for 5 minutes without really doing anything. And that is one of the things that can get you more and more into, and if you're sitting there watching a timer the whole time, eventually you won't be. Eventually you'll just be like, this is what I'm doing now. And that is the process that you need to develop in order to get your guides to communicate with you more clearly about the steps that you are supposed to take towards your own path. It particularly, because I attract a lot of people who are actual readers as well. I'm not positive why. Maybe it's just that they have the interest. And we can have trouble getting our own guidance. We can have great, great vision for other people, but our clarity for ourselves outside of work can be a little bit occluded. And what you want to do is look at your practice for connecting, what you are doing around clearing, what you are doing around centering, what you are doing around grounding, and you need to do something different for at least a full week. You need to do a reset. Now, you can go down to running water, and that is one of the ways that you can reset your energy. Please don't think it's going to take a day. You really do need a full week's cycle of doing something different, having something different for breakfast, you need to break your pattern. You're kind of engrossed within a pattern, and it's too familiar. It's too by rote. It's too paint by the numbers. And that's what you need to figure out is for a week, I'm taking a break from all, and by the way, taking a break from meditative practice can mean I ate junk food and I watched Bridgerton, and it can really be, I've got multiple, take a break. You need to take a break. If it's not working right now, then mark it on your calendar that you begin again on the 7 full days away. And it is best to begin it on a Sunday or a Monday. It's just your body rhythms will respect that just a little bit more. What else have we got here? Okay, there is one other form of connecting with your guides that you do not appear to be particularly aware of, which is that the written word keeps bringing you sentences and like reoccurring synchronicities. Hey, listen, like it's great to look at a clock and see 4:44 or 3:33. That is not the primary connection point for synchronicities. It might be seeing the same bird over and over again. It might be seeing the same phrase over and over again. One of the ways that you can connect to your guides is by being very cognizant of what is crossing your path in terms of advertising. And we've all had the experience where we talk about something and then all of a sudden all of our ads are about that. And it's like, hey, my phone's listening to me. Yeah, your phone's listening to you. But you can use that as well. Just kind of be cognizant of the fact that, I wasn't actually talking about that at all. I was just thinking about it. If you were just thinking about it versus talking about it, and you see an ad about something that you were thinking about, that's your guides. It's like they're yelling, we're over here, don't give up. Let's get some fortune reading cards. What else do we need to know for connecting to guides? What else do we need to know? I'm going to use the angel answers here in a moment. Patience. Slow down, change your attitude, and clear your mind. I'm going to go with the... This is not an accusation on any level, because I've done it too, is that you expect more from the process. You expect the telegrams, you expect the, and then I sat down and I met my guides and it was all very, you expect it to almost be like attending a Zoom meeting. That's not. What you're doing is creating a clear space in your mind. And for people in a very anxious world where we're often still in survival mode, if you cannot shut your brain down, you are likely in a form of survival mode, where sitting and being still feels dangerous. And that's why one of the things that you can do to develop your ability to receive guide messages is simply practice sitting for 5 minutes. Sitting and doing nothing. And if you catch yourself being like, and next I will do this and then I will do that, tell yourself firmly within your head, it's not time for that right now. I'm just here. I'm in the present moment. Let me feel the fabric of this chair. Let me look at my surroundings. Whatever you need to do to engage yourself with just in that present moment, but don't be always forward thinking. Because if you're always forward thinking and what do I do next and what do I do next, you're blocking out your guidance. And it's not an accusation, it's just a reminder, is that the thing that people want is to be able to be guided, but they're not good at just allowing themselves to be and be still and to sit and look into a tree and just be like, hey, that is really pretty, what a beautiful sky overhead, or I kind of enjoy it when it's overcast, or any of the things that are about focusing your energy in the present moment. If you are having difficulty with meditating, which is the easiest way to get our answers, but it fits, they have done studies on when people's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter, and it does have to do with overstimulation from electronic devices and a feeling of stress within the modern day world. And the easiest way to start counteracting that is to find an exercise that helps you be within the present moment. And that can be looking around your environment and use the number 5. 5 is the number of change. Noticing 5 things that you like. Noticing 5 things that you would like to change. Noticing 5 things that you feel or smell or hear. That's how you start focusing on the present moment, is by taking an inventory of it. It can genuinely help. But mostly what you're doing is that you need to take a break from it, because we can reach system overload and you need a reset on your energy. And for some people it really is, as you go and you do something, you allow yourself not to toil and labor constantly, but allow yourself to do something fun. Even if you're not sitting down and meditating, it will create the space within you for enjoyment, for being present within your life. So even if you have to work like a dog because, the bill collectors are all over the place, what you might do is go for something special at lunch and allow yourself to sit in a park and eat it. And nature is always going to be so important as a connection point. We have the Griffin, honor and good luck. Medusa, jealousy leads to a downfall, and then I have the stars. Long journey brings rewards with the raven, and you will be glad. Darkness looms on the horizon. Hey, listen, you do have an energy that suggests you have an attachment. Now, that is incredibly common. This is the Ace of Swords in reverse. It does look like it has something to do with doing and working. So you may be, really struggling with your work-life balance. Please remember that this is one of the energies for an attachment. Do attachment removals. I've got some up on my channel as well. I'll try to remember to link one in the space above as we finish this up. But attachment removal is the first step in doing that, and it takes a little while. And the one that people don't notice is the hustle culture one, the go, go, go. Remember, workaholism is still a form of addiction, and it screws with your sacral chakra. And if your sacral chakra is messed up, that is the part of you that doesn't let your brain rest. That is the part that is always like, go, 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 go. Inner Lotus Healing Music, Jason Stevenson, Meditative Mind. There are so many really, really, really good healing networks on YouTube where you can get this stuff for free. If you can afford to go to someone who does this, you will receive a higher quality of service. But if you do not have the means, then there are so many free, basically, resources available. And I really, really suggest that you kind of seek them out wherever you can. But you need it. You need a reset. You need a reset on this. Also, this is just a piece of advice because you can sit down with an intent. If you're sitting down with the intent of tell me how to make a lot of money or how to succeed or what to do in my career, it's the same thing that goes with relationship things. Don't just sit down with the intent of tell me what I need to know. Just tell me what I need to know. Tell me what I need to know. Because what you need and what you want are not always the same thing. And so you may be very hyper-focused on an area of your life that you want things to happen in, and it's often love, and it's often career, and it's often money. But the things that are holding us back, the barriers that keep us from our success, are the internal worlds that are very conflicted. And to receive really, really good guidance, we have to resolve our internal conflicts in order to be able to be present within that. We're going to a deck that is connected to ancestor work. This is the Spirit of the Wheel. I'm not super connected to it yet, but I've been trying and trying. Not all decks, you won't connect with all decks. There we go, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Can you please tell me, is there anything else for pile number 1 for receiving their guidance? What can they do to receive more guidance? Change what you are eating. Make some changes. Make some changes. It doesn't have to add, but you need a reset. It's like you need to, in like all those tech jokes about have you tried turning it off and turning it on? Turn yourself off and turn yourself on. You need to clear your energy. We have Harvest Moon, Turning Point, Preparation and Gathering. And then we have East, which is New Beginnings, Thought Process and Inspiration. New Beginnings makes sense to me. West, Recuperation, Creativity, and Dreams. Okay, so what do you need to do to get more guidance to connect to your spirit guides is give yourself permission to have at least 1 week where you don't worry about it at all. You just go about your life and you do, like, what am I going to do to have fun today? And in that week, you want to sit and practice on a daily basis, not meditating, but simply sitting and being and reacting to your environment by cataloging it a little bit. Because what is going on with you is you get a sense of hyperfocus. You may have ADHD. A lot of people do. That is what they were talking about with the collapse of people's attention span, is that our overstimulation from electronic devices has led to people having a lot of focus problems. And it can either go, you can't focus, or you focus too much on one area. And it looks to me that like you are blocking out the advice on what will simply make you healthy and able to tap in essentially on demand. And that is why doing this work is one of the things that will help you the most. Is the main message that you got is your sacral chakra really, 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 really needs work. Work on your sacral chakra, and know that when you do some work on a sacral chakra, it's best to follow up with a balancing recording. It really genuinely is, because working on your sacral chakra can make you mad. It can make you like the volcano that is going to blow up and take out Pompeii, Herculaneum. It can. And so you need to be aware of the rebound energy of something releasing. But what you mainly need to do is to stop what you're doing for a full week, take a break from this because you're clogged. Clear your energy and participate in a process where you are within your environment and you're simply looking at it. And it can be a room that you've been in over and over again. Look at it with fresh eyes. You need a restart. You need a restart. And your guides do have more information for you, but they want you to hear something. You want it for a very specific area of your life. And they're like, hey, we've got everything there covered, but you need to listen to us because we're actually trying to guide you. But the route that you need to take is in dealing with some other things so the things that you want can come to you because they're not clogged up by it being, desire and attachment are two of the things that are the most blocking energies in our life's purpose. And it doesn't mean you're not allowed to want anything. It's just that if we go forward looking for guidance to get what we want, we're participating in a problem that holds our spiritual self back rather than in kind of joining with our spiritual self. And to remember that part about meditation and your guides. If you want information only about how do I succeed in business, don't be surprised if the information that comes to you is what do you need to heal. Because hyper-focus, particularly around anything earthly, is actually a contradiction of pursuing spiritual guidance. Your spiritual guidance is for your overall well-being and your feeling of connection. And it will bring you everything that you are hoping for. But as you heal what you're hoping for and what you want frequently changes, and to keep that part in mind. That was your pile number one. Hey, you want to book me for a private reading for very direct advice on what you need to heal? You can do so at therisingmoon.com. I have a Patreon as well. It's all linked below. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome back. Hey, if you chose pile number 2, then this is your reading. We're going to put the number 2 over there so that people can easily fast forward to their reading. But there are timestamps in the description box down below. Hey guys, please don't forget that I welcome all comments and I love to hear from you guys. So please don't forget to say something in the comment section down below. And I get back to people as soon as I can. I get a little behind sometimes. But let's get going with your advice on how can you get better spirit guide messages. Oh, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button and all the good things if you like the reading. And if you want to book me for a private reading, at therisingmoon.com. It's linked in the description box down below. It's the only way to book me. But let's get going here. What do we need for pile number 2? What can they do to get better guidance? How can they better hear their guides? 1, 2, 3. Let's find out here. Golden Wheel Tarot is bringing you predictive cards. I haven't used it in a while. I was really happy to reach for it. The Knight of Cups is a card in reverse, is a card of self-love, focusing on self, making the choices that are best for you. It's also having a better, 4 Swords in the upright, which is a card of meditation. I was just going into this for pile number 1. People have a lot of trouble with meditation because we have overstimulated attention spans because of the nature of social media usually. And so it can be a difficult process for people to focus. If you have a meditative practice, that's really good, but one of the things that you need to do beforehand is affirmations, is talking to yourself about what you're proud of and what you're grateful. What you're proud of in yourself. Try that one, please. Have an affirmation set before you begin to meditate or before you begin to connect that lists 5 things that you are proud of yourself for doing, any progress that you've made. Your inner dialogue is still tending towards the negative, and it just will set a state of receptivity if you're in a positive energy. And it is before meditation or sitting quietly. We have the King of Wands and King of Pentacles in reverse, King of Wheels in reverse. That can be a depressive energy. It can be an attachment energy as well. With the 7 of Swords in the upright, which is often a strategy card, but it can be a lies, deceit, manipulation energy. It can be a thief's energy as well. It's more of a strategy energy because of the nature of the reading that we're doing. Have really good management techniques. A tendency towards, it looks like anxiety and fear are 2 of the things that are blocking you out, and that the affirmations that you need to engage in like really positive self-talk before trying to connect. And if meditation doesn't work for you, honest to goodness, like sitting and looking at bodies of water helps. Sitting quietly and looking at a piece of art that you like can help as well. And it doesn't need to be, your mind does not need to be still. You can be looking at a painting that you like and like examining the colors and thinking about that. But it creates a state of receptivity when you're in an appreciative state. I have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Everybody's been getting that, which is like a relax, relax, relax. Work less. King of Cups in the upright. I have the King of Wands in the upright. I got a lot of kings on this one. Queen of Wands in reverse. I beg your pardon. I'm sorry, guys, I sneezed. Okay, so Queen of Wands in reverse with King of Wands is the balanced energy. You need to listen to a little bit more balancing work than you do. Chakra vibrations is one of my favorite ones for chakra balancing. I like the guy who does that a lot. He has a great, great vibe. He's a really, he's got very pure intent. He has a good heart space. Listen to a 30-minute balancer before you go to bed. It is a very important thing to do because you're waking up in an unbalanced state because you have a tendency towards depression and anxiety. It looks like you've overcome it a great deal, but it exists in your subconscious mind, and you just need to be a little bit careful with your input right before bed. A lot comes to you in your dream state. Like, it looks like you've done a lot of your shadow work within your dream state, which will have to do with frustrating dreams, dreams in which you're trapped in places or you can never find where you're going. And it's trying to help you with healing your solar plexus chakra, which is about your confidence. Balancing solar plexus work will help as well. Affirmations, positive talk. Remember, do everything in fives because 5 is the energy of change and that's what you're looking for. In order to connect, you need to engage in very positive self-talk. It can be giving yourself compliments. If you look cute today, tell yourself, you are looking good today. Honest to goodness, it sets the stage because unfortunately when we reach out, there are so many influences and there are so many spirit attachments, which this is one of them, that will try and influence and increase an energy. And so that's why you want to be in a very positive mindset whenever possible. Never sit down to meditate if you think it's a chore. Now, I have to do a lot of work around what I do because I do this for a living. And sometimes I'm doing it more joyfully than others. But like if I'm ever really in the I don't want to do this mood, then I'm not supposed to do it. And that's the thing to remember is that this ability to connect is not a chore. It is not an assignment. It is something that you are doing to try and guide your path and to be in contact not merely with your spirit guides, but with your higher self. The part of you that exists outside of the flow of time. That is part of the reason that positive self-talk is one of the things that you need to engage in beforehand. And if you're like, I hate meditating oh so much, start with the positive affirmations. Stand in front of your mirror, look dead into your eyes, and tell yourself what you're proud of. Tell yourself what you're happy about. Tell yourself what you look good in, or anything that is about affirmations of self, being in a positive energy. And it might take a while. Particularly people who have been schooled to always doubt themselves, which is usually a situation that comes from our caretaking experience as kids. It can be a real struggle, and so expect it to take a little while. It's worth it to do. And by the way, it never really does feel like a ticker tape in your head. It's just that as you connect more and more to your positive guidance, you will feel more guided throughout the course of your day and throughout the course of your life. Knight of Wands in reverse, man, there's a lot of frustration and anger energy, just a little bit too much fire here. With the Queen of Swords in the upright. Your fear turns towards anger sometimes, and you may not be aware of that. When you find yourself running short on patience, what you want to do is work on your solar plexus chakra, and you want to work on your root chakra as well. Chakra, it's the word chakra, I believe, means wheel. It's the energy points within our spiritual alignment that connect us to the universe. Every chakra point has a positive and a negative energy, or a light and a dark energy. You need to work on your root chakra a little bit more than you are. That can also simply be through grounding. Balance before you go to sleep. It may bring some funky dreams. They do try and communicate with you through your dreams, but your shadow work was clogging up the process, and that's something that they just want you to hear and be aware of. Let's get the quantum oracle involved here. What else do I need to know here? Working on your solar plexus chakra is one of the things that will make this, you need to speak to yourself kindly every single day of your life. And if it doesn't feel natural, it means you just need to keep doing it. It's a very natural thing for people to have a very negative inner dialogue. This world teaches us to doubt ourselves, and it isn't about being, puffed up with pride. but it is about like giving yourself credit for being a person who's doing their very best within this difficult world. It's approaching yourself as your best friend versus your, like, the drill sergeant in your head. Every now and then we have to whip out the drill sergeant in the head energy. But it's when you catch yourself sliding backwards on things. Behind a mask, okie dokie. Deserving. Angels of the Four Directions, I want one more on this, planning and action. Fits with my Seven of Sword energy there as well. I'm going to take one look at this. Teacher. Okay. Now, you've got the Queen of Swords there and the Knight of Wands as well in reverse. Every single day, if you can, sit down for 5 to 10 minutes and learn more about the spiritual world. You can look up what goddesses is abundance, what is the goddess of justice, look into different belief systems and into different spiritual realms. And it's not to change what you're doing, it's to expand. You need a slightly expanding energy. Behind a mask, unfortunately, you still repress a lot of emotions. Now, this also does mean that they're trying to communicate with you via your dreams. It's still clogged up in all of the self-doubt. And like I said, this is your pile if you recognize that. You're like, hey, if it wasn't for bad dreams, I'm not sure I'd ever have any dreams. They are trying to communicate with you through their dreams, but they have hit a backlog. And the easiest way to clear that backlog is through the positive self-talk, but it's also through doing your energy healing and doing your emotional healing as well. Pile number 2, like, listen, please don't be upset by this part, or do, like, because they're just trying to give you some information. I don't know if you noticed, King of Wands in the upright, Queen of Wands in reverse, followed by the Knight of Wands in reverse. You're expecting too much to happen too quickly. That you give up on processes when you don't get instantaneous results. And that guidance is something that's meant to be with you every single day of your life. And sometimes it will be very simple and just helping you restore your peace. And sometimes it'll be like, you need to go here now and do this. Sometimes it's very directed, but you're expecting it to be way too directed. And that is part of what you're not recognizing, is that they're trying to help you overcome the need to do so much. Because it's clogging up your pipeline, basically. Let's see what else we've got here. Some emotional repression issues. Hey, listen, I have one suggestion here, that you would do well with writing down what is upsetting you. Looking at the actual whatever you've written down, and then I suggest people do it on a computer, because then you highlight it and delete it, and it is one of the ways of symbolic release. Third-party interference. Listen to your intuition. Okay. Hidden emotions, guys. Let go. Hidden emotions, dazed and confused, and then divine masculine with messages from spirit. So the divine masculine, remember, the divine feminine is more of the nurturing energy. Now, this has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with the balance of energy within every person. And the divine masculine is the do. And you may have you might be a little confused about what meditation is supposed to bring for you. Because if you're expecting an action plan every time you sit down, and like your guides are supposed to tell you what to do, your guides are far more likely to tell you how to heal your emotional world first. Because that's the thing that holds us back from being in full alignment with our higher self. And so it looks to me, pile number 2, this is an observation and not an accusation, is that you would do well to reframe your idea of what spirit guides are meant to be doing in your life. Because they're not there to be your manager. They're there to be your caseworker in dealing with your emotional world, so that you are constantly connected to your higher self, so that you receive the information that will help you the most in your path going forward. We're going to go ahead and we're going to use the Wisdom of the House of the Night deck. So it's one of the Colette Baron Reid decks. I love Colette Baron Reid's artwork so very much, and I connect really well to her decks. But expect this to be a little bit like they're trying to tell you what to heal, and to reframe your idea of what you expect spirit guides to be about. Your spirit guides are there to be your supportive care network in every single moment. But they're not like a question and answer type of thing as much as they're like, hey, connect to us, and you'll stop worrying about doing the right things, because you'll always feel guided towards them, and you'll be able to rely on that. We have meditation. Lust, unfortunately, this is that energy. It is the frustration, the anger. It's the sacral chakra energy as well. With letting go, and then loyalty as well. Hey, listen, there is a slight indication, it's not the nature of this read, that there may be a relationship in your life that is clogging you up a little bit, like somebody who takes a little bit too much of your energy, and to maybe think about that part. But to remember desire, which is lust, is if you're thinking of your spirit guides as a team of folks or beings that have the roadmap for how do I get what I want, that is not what they do. They help you find your purposeful path in this life. And it almost always starts with healing. And then when you're healed, you'll know what you truly want. But in the meantime, before being healed, mostly we want information about how do I get what I want, because that's how we relate to how do I make myself feel better. And most of us reach for something to make us feel better. But it's a painkiller versus a healing. And to remember, that's why healing first means that you won't waste your time on chasing the painkillers. Okay, let's keep going here. And just be careful with that energy. And if it's really frustrating to you to heal here that we've got cross the bridge of happiness, it leads over the depths of your emotions. You're not great at dealing with your negative emotions yet. That is not an accusation. If I can spot it, it's because I had to go through it as well. Emotional repression is not a way of emotional regulation. There is an indication here that you're still doing some work on your emotional regulation. And to be open to the idea that what your guides are telling you, if it is almost solely focused on healing, it's because the healing is the part that is keeping you back from knowing what you truly want to do with your world. What your spirit and your soul feels called to, versus give me this so I will feel better. Give me the relationship I want, the job I want, the bank account I want. That is not what your spirit guides do. Your spirit guides are here to help you live the happiest, healthiest, most spiritually connected experience that you possibly can. And the thing that blocks it out first is our unhealed energy and our unhealed wounds as well. So pile number 2, working on how you talk to yourself beforehand will give you greater information, but you need to be a little bit prepared for the information being really centered on I have to heal first. I have to heal first because my spirit guides, to guide me towards my purposeful path, have to help me hammer out the dents that my identity, my feeling of self, my approach to self sustained throughout the course of this world. And sometimes we invest our self-worth in what other people think of where we live, or how much money we make, or what kind of car we drive. And that is one of the things that they help us heal before they bring us the information that will truly help us the most. I use this on pile number 1 as well, and we're going to go for it here as well. It's the Spirit of the Wheel. It's an ancestor deck. If you can't connect to your guides, try to connect to your ancestors, okay? And are they sometimes one and the same? Sometimes, yes, they are. It depends on, if you come from a shamanic healing tradition, your guides and your ancestors are frequently one and the same. But we have different guides for different points of your life, and you have the healing team. And your guidance team is trying to come in after that. Please listen to the healing advice first, because if you're saying, I don't want to, it's a waste of time, if you're all frustrated with that idea, that is a clear indication that you really need to heal. You really need to heal, because spirit guide communication and guidance in this realm is never frantic. Okay, dreams. They keep talking to you about dreams. We have Frog's Return Moon, building dreams, determination, and cooperation. Cooperate with them. If they're telling you need to heal something, try healing it. And you will see the evidence of it being the right thing. But if you're really pressed about the idea of, I want information about how I'm going to succeed, or how I'm going to find the love that I want, and that's really, just stop talking to me about it, it's this other stuff. They will talk to you more and more and more and more about the other stuff, because it's the thing that's standing in your way. Our spirit guides help us the most when we are in alignment with our highest self, and our highest self stands outside of that lust card, which is about the desires that we are trying to fulfill. We have Medicine Wheel, Oneness, Inner Growth, and Contemplation. I'm going to take one more for you guys. Father, Son, Direction, Illumination, and Active Growth. You got a little bit of healing, growing, and expanding to do to get the information that you truly want. And you will discover, as you resolve this energy, that one of the things that you're being asked to do is to consider that if you have had a dream, that it may not, and it hasn't come to you, it might not be the right course of action for you, but there is one, and you simply need to heal what they're asking you to heal so that you'll be more directed towards it. Where are we on the time here? I have a little bit of time left, so I'm going to go to the energy deck to see if there's any closing messages here. What else do we need to know? Work on your inner dialogue before you sit down to try and get your messages. Speak to yourself kindly. And if that's really awkward, that's what you got to heal first. You can do the self-love healing frequencies. Falling asleep to all of these things for 30 to 90 minutes a night is one of the ways that can help you to work on your subconscious. And because you got multiple cards of emotional repression, guess where your emotions go to hide? Because we can't ever get rid of them unless we've processed them. They're in your subconscious, and that may be why your dream world sometimes feels like a war zone. Okay, here we go. Yeah, hostilities, walking away, the temple path, financial constraints. It does look that way. All tied up is a block. Hey, pile number 2. It feels like the majority of what you ask about is about how to succeed and how to manifest and law of attraction. And that is a separate realm from the spirit guides. Your spirit guides are about your spiritual path. And that one of the things that you're doing is you may be focusing too much on what you want from the interaction rather than what the interaction has to offer. So you got a little bit of healing to do, and to remember, doing some attachment removals can help as well. I like the Sound Energy Alchemist for that. They have a lot of good things around that, particularly if you're dealing with generational deprivation. Remember, there can be generational curses present as well. I don't have that on the table, but what I have is that your expectation of spirit guide direction is very focused on how do I achieve in this earthly realm. And you need to remember that your spirit guides are not here to help you, be the most popular person on LinkedIn. They're here to help you find your true spiritual path, which includes self-acceptance and self-love. And understanding that everybody has things to heal. It's never an accusation. We all have our inner work to do. We all have our shadow side work to do. And that until you learn how to deal with negative emotions, they are suppressed, they come out in eruptive phases, and they're also often glimpsed in our dream world. And they are trying to tell you that one of the things that would improve your dream world, because your dream world did not look good, one of the things that would improve your dream world is having a 5-minute period every single day where you engage in positive self-talk about how you're exactly where you need to be. And I am open to the messages that my guides are trying to bring me to make me happier and healthier. And if every single part of you says, but I want it to be about being wealthier, you're investing your happiness in a false construct. Meaning you would still be you, you'd just be you with more money. That is why they will hold us back until we heal our inner world, even when we're meant to be really, really successful, okay? Pile number 2, that was your message about how to better connect with your spirit guides. Take care. Be well. If you want to book me for a private reading, at therisingmoon.com. If you want to join my Patreon, where we have weekly readings and monthly readings that are all about how to heal the stuff, it's linked in the description box down below as well. Take care. Be well. Welcome back. Hey, if you chose pile number 3, this is your reading. We're going to put the number 3 over there so that people can easily fast forward to their reading. But there are always timestamps in the description box down below. And let's go. What can pile number 3 do to connect to their spirit guides? What can pile number 3 do to connect to their spirit guides? Hey guys, before I get started, please don't forget to do things like subscribe. It does help my channel and allows me to keep doing these readings. If you like the reading, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website in the description box down below. At therisingmoon.com is the only way to book me. All right, I have the, what in the world are you? The 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Only thing about this deck is it's slightly dark and it has very small lettering. So the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, it is about healing your heart chakra, dropping your guard as well. Remember to receive the universal guidance of our spirit guides. We have to be in flow with the idea of universal love, no matter what's going on in our life. Because what happens in our life that goes wrong is not a punishment. Nothing is doing anything to us. That, like, when we look at our lives, we have a tendency to look at them for the things that have gone wrong and forgetting that, like, it's a great and diverse world. If you live in a world with clean drinking water, you already won one of the life lotteries. And to try and remember that part, to try and be connected to the idea that you are loved, even if you are facing challenges, because this physical existence brings with it challenges. It is part of the reason that we come here. This comes with temperance in the upright, which is the need to heal. It is a card of alchemy. It is a card of transmutation. It's the Sagittarius card as well, but it's the card for patience. It's also the card for the Archangel Raphael, which Raphael is the Archangel in charge of the heart chakra. One of the things that you want to do, pile number 3, is to listen to heart chakra healings, or you also want to do some of the angelic frequencies as well. Put them on while you're meditating. It should help. You may end up crying quite a bit because you've got a slight clog in your heart chakra. It'll pass. As it's going on, just tell yourself it's not permanent. Yeah. I have the Page of Wands in reverse, which is a trigger card. It does look to me like there is some unexpressed grief or sadness, and that, like, you get tired of being sad, and so you try to get past that process. And that working on your heart chakra, do it for a solid 2 weeks. Do it for a solid 2 weeks every day. If you can do it at night, it works best, because then it also is implanted into your subconscious mind. 30 to 90 minutes before going to sleep, or as you are going to sleep, really, really helps. Be aware that it really does look like there might be, like, you can bring about your own trigger and your own catalyst by choosing to watch something that you find very moving to help get rid of that energy. But it's one of the reasons that you're having trouble hearing your guides, is that you may have reached the stage of emotional evolution in which, like, remember, we're always going to have our lesser aspects. Meaning that we'll always have anger, we'll always have fear, we'll always have grief, we'll always have these things that they still exist, and sometimes they need to be expressed. With the Devil in the upright, it's a codependency marker as well. You may be holding on to past grief from past relationships. The Devil can be about substances, and you need to be a little bit aware of that. It's the Capricorn card, but really the energy of the Devil is that it's being in a relationship with a person, place, or thing that is not necessarily serving us. One of the things that you need to be aware of is almost nothing will block your spirit guides more effectively than alcohol. If you are struggling with your spirit guide team, then making sure that you do like 2 weeks no alcohol will help tremendously. I really suggest that people don't drink. Now, I do tell people, hey, as much cannabis as you can handle, have fun with it, because it takes you to a higher vibration, but alcohol takes you to a lower vibration. And you are receiving a reminder about that. With the 2 swords in the upright, which can be being blocked and also being in denial as well. I like this particular energy. It's not a bad one on this 2 of swords, because the swords aren't crossed in this particular one, and we have the moon for intuition. Work on your heart chakra. Please don't work on your third eye chakra for a little bit. Please don't work on your heart, because with this particular energy, we can get trickster energies involved just very, very easily that tell us what we want to hear. And if you've been getting guidance and you're like, hey, it doesn't happen the way they say it's going to, you may have attracted an attachment. Sound Energy Alchemist has attachment removals. There's one on my channel as well. I have to link to it for a different pile, but I did summon the Archangel Raphael for it, so you can look for that one as well. I had Stand by the Ocean, and I did invoke the Archangel Raphael to clear your heart chakra, so you probably want to check that video out. I have the Strength card in reverse, which is vulnerability. It can be fear. One of the things I teach my clients is that when you're having an emotion, whether it's sadness or fear or anger, is like one of the things you can start repeating to yourself is it's just a feeling, it will pass. It's not forever. They all come and go. And that when you're having a feeling, you don't need to worry about the sadness lasting forever, the anger lasting forever. It won't. You just need to learn how to have a healthy process around releasing that energy. This comes out with the Hierophant in reverse, which can be the end of a traditional marriage. It can be a non-conforming energy. And then I have the Moon in the upright, which is underlying issues and things being hidden or concealed. For some people, this is a little bit about a relationship that they're in and trying to heal from. That's not going to be for everybody. Remember, general readings can't have specific details for every single person who watches a pile. And that comes out with the Three of Cups in the upright, which is friendship. It's gathering with others. It's community. Coming out with the Six of Pentacles in reverse, which is uneven relationships. Pile number 3. There's something around like catalog, kind of taking a close look at your personal relationships. You may be involved with somebody who takes more than they give. And it could be a friend because it comes out with a friendship card. Remember, you're not meant to be somebody's unpaid therapist. Now, anybody, there is a proviso with that. Every now and then, somebody we really care about will have a tremendous crisis. And we're there as a loving and supportive person, and the focus is on them. You can't stay on them indefinitely. It does have to return to a more balanced state. We're not meant to be caretakers for our friends. And that if you've had a codependency issue in the past in your romantic relationships, that it is an energy that tries to return to us, and it does come through our personal relationships until we learn better boundaries and processing our real feelings. This is supposed to be about how to connect to your guides more. But what it is telling you is that part of what's going on is the energy that we're referring to with unprocessed grief or sadness, not really working with your heart chakra, may have led you to be given information. And it can come through readers as well if they're not familiar with the idea that different people have different attachments, which is no shade on the reader. We all do different things. And so they will be receiving information from what is supposed to be your guides, but it looks like maybe there's a guiding influence that does have to do with this form of a relationship to a person, place, or thing that is not serving you. So examine your relationships in your life. And remember, it doesn't mean that you're jettisoning the relationship. What it does mean is that you need to heal something within it. There can be friendships that go through a period of like, hey, you have to back off, and then like it comes back in a healthier energy. There can be that. It can happen in relationships as well, too. In terms of connecting more to your guides, Raphael, healing your heart chakra, having a little bit of patience with the idea that you're still healing something, and that is why your guidance has not fully come online. But it really does look to me like maybe like you watched a bunch of pick-a cards or something, and that the information didn't prove to be true. And that is because when we have a spirit attachment, which everybody has them, it's part of being a person. Everybody has them. It's almost like bacteria. They're everywhere. When we have an attachment that is guiding us to invest more and more of our energy into a particular area, like it'll guide you to the wrong pick of cards sometimes. Sometimes it will guide you to, you really have to go to a personal reading situation and a reader that you can trust to tell you stuff that you don't want to hear sometimes, which it can be very difficult for readers to do that. But there's a ton of really good readers on YouTube. So it doesn't have to be me, but sometimes getting a new perspective and a one-on-one is one of the things that will help as well. We have kisses, unconditional love, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. We're taking these from the Island Wellness cards. This deck has been rebranded. I just don't even know how many times. Unconditional love is a really interesting concept, but it does not hold a place in romantic love because it paves the way for us to accept abuse. And so you can maintain love for somebody, but that doesn't mean that they're supposed to be present in your life. And it's just something to remind yourself of. Whoa. The Grim Reaper, the relationship is over, no second chances, grow and transform your life. That will mean different things for different people. Remember, that can be the Death card energy as well, which is new beginnings, which is what the real meaning of the Grim Reaper is. It looks to me like you have a lot of love for somebody. You're simply meant to be accepting that they were a lesson in your life, and it can be very difficult. The Dragonfly, be lighthearted, finding out, things coming to light, adapt, change, heal. So part of the reason you're not getting your spirit guide messages very clearly is that you're still clearing what appears to be an attachment energy having to do with a personal relationship and to heal your heart chakra, and that's the thing that will help the most. with clock, needs time, takes time, in time, cycles, time to heal, and progress. If you're not hearing your guides, if you feel like you've gotten bum advice in the past, it does appear to have had something to do with potentially a codependent spirit attachment. That is not an insult. I had to heal from codependency. Almost everyone you meet will have dealt with that because we live in a society and in a world that wants us paired up for other reasons. They want us, participating and paying taxes and buying houses and having children, and like particularly women are sold a very, very romantic story around the idea of partnership, which by the way is a new thing within history. Since women did not have the option of working and having careers until the last 100 years or so, the romanticizing of our partnerships, our marriages, increased after that. And it really was not often as romanticized prior to that. It was simply what you did with your life because that was the option that was available to you. As things have become more romanticized, sometimes we invest a little bit too much in the romantic side as being like, this is my soulmate and this has to be, and a bunch of other things that can kind of hold us back. And it is not to say that there's no place for soulmate and romantic love. There really, really is. It's just that if you're looking for guidance specifically in that area, and when you look at, most readings and things, it's focusing on that area, that unfortunately can and frequently does attract spirit attachments. And just, do the work to get rid of them. In this one, the only thing that's clogging it up is that you're holding something too closely in your heart, and you need to let the energy go so that the real answers come to you. Okay? All right, let's get going here. This is the spirit of the wheel, which also has ancestor advice. Hello. Earth, renewal, moon, greater responsibility, inner knowing, and teaching. And then this guy fell over here as well. We have the East, which is new beginnings, thought process, and inspiration. Another pile got that card. With West, recuperation, creativity, and dreams as well. Recuperation, you have something to heal. You just have something to heal around a relationship, a connection. Please, I know how painful that can be. But there is a vibrant and a healthier energy on the other side of that for anybody who undertakes the healing of it. It looks to me like it has potentially transferred into a friendship, but that's not going to be true for absolutely everybody. Let's check your Infinity Oracle. So you're not getting a lot of how can you connect to your spirit guides more effectively. First, you need to work with the Archangel Raphael or work on your heart chakra. And you have to work with the idea of I'm letting go of my expectations. I'm letting go of an attachment to an outcome. And it does appear to be something that very much involves your personal world. Okay? And I'm sorry that, I don't think any reader wants to tell people things that are potentially painful. But remember, that will pass too. That when you heal, then you get into your healthy energy and you live with your guidance and your purpose. And you feel very protected by the universe. But sometimes we shut out the answers that we don't want to hear. We have important conversation. Healthy boundaries. Dark night of the soul. Okay. Crossroads. Remember, crossroads. I'm a crossroads guide. People meet me when they're deciding which path they're going to follow. That is a crossroads energy, deciding your path, and then spiritual awakening. Your spirit guides don't do a lot with your love life. What they do is they're trying to get you into the healthiest energy so that everything that comes to your life is attracted to that healthy energy and maintains and sustains that healthy energy. And too much focus on any area of our life creates this energy. It can be work, it can be romance, it can be almost anything that draws too much of our focus pulls us off of balance. And so the other thing that you want to do are some balancing energies as well. But I'd start doing the sound healer says a lot of shielding energy. Just do some cord cutters as well is a good idea. I don't have a heartbreak card on this, so I genuinely hope that nothing that you're hearing is painful for you. But if it is, let yourself process that. Because it really is, it's like your heart chakra is very tender or something, because you're afraid of being overwhelmed by something if you allow yourself to feel it. And you won't be. Just keep telling yourself you're safe and everything will pass. Let's see what we've got from the Shishu deck. What else do we have for pile number 3? You got a little bit of healing to do before your guidance comes a little bit more online. Step back. You're being asked to step back from your life in order to gain perspective. When you're too close to a situation, it can be hard to make a decision. Span out. Hello, come back. Span out and view your life from a distance so you can get the perspective needed. When we're too close to an emotional situation, when our heart is all invested in it, it can be hard to get the right answers. A greater perspective on, I'm trying to heal to be in my purposeful spiritual energy, about the role of spirit guides, is something that might help as well. Focus. You're being asked to shift your focus away from what isn't working and towards what is. Paying extra attention to where you place your focus is the first step toward creating an amazing life. It just looks like you're focusing on something that's not, it looks like a personal relationship. That is honest to goodness. If you're asking your spirit guides, when am I going to find love? When am I going to find my soulmate? Ask them how to heal. When you sit down to meditate, when you're inviting your spirit guides in, if you're going to sleep to things like yoga nidra, ask them, what do I need to heal? And that will help everything. It's time. You're being asked to move forward toward the dream that you've been carrying in your heart. It's time to bring it out into this world. You're ready. It's time. You also got a it's time card from the wellness thing, which it takes time. Time to heal. Everything comes in the time that it is meant to. If we focus on that which isn't for us, it blocks out what is. And sometimes when we get hyper-focused on any desire, which that is one of the meanings of the devil card, is we are blocking out the answers that are meant for us. So pile number 3, please remember that, your guides are trying to help you connect to them so that you can have a healthy and a vibrant and a connected experience. But remember that your spirit guides are for your wellness versus your desires. And that is something that, like, people have trouble with. It's like, well, how can they not want what I want for me? Because from this time and place, you see things from one perspective, and they see all perspectives. They are with the part of you, which is your higher self, that stands outside the flow of time and understands that it's like, don't invest too much in this thing because it's not the best thing for you. And that's, we all do it. We all sometimes want things that are about a karmic lesson. And that's a little bit was like letting your heart heal from something that was painful, examining your relationships to see if something is being pulled off balance, and healing your heart chakra, and changing your mind a little bit on the expectation of what your spirit guides should be bringing you. They're always trying to bring you what is best for you, and they're never doing anything to you. They are always working with your choices, not the other way around, okay? So pile number 3, that was your reading. If you want to book me for a private reading, at therisingmoon.com is the only way to book me. I have a Patreon where I give weekly readings about healing and what you need to heal and how to overcome things like codependency, monthly readings, and I do some clearing work on there as well. And I have podcasts, Logical Magic, Examining Esoterica, where there's tons and tons of healing advice. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Be well.